On this week's Happy Hour, from Channel 19, Meteorologist Kelly Dobeck, romantic readings of Craigslist mixed connections, and of course, me, the Happy Hour regular, Jocelyn. And now, from All Saints Public House in Cleveland, it's Happy Hour with Steve Guy.
Welcome to another episode of Happy Hour with Steve Guy. As usual, we've got a fun show for you. My guest this week, Kelly Dobeck. She's a meteorologist for Channel 19. She and I also happen to work for the Cleveland Monsters as in-arena hosts. But yeah, fun chat combo with her all about, I guess, weather and things. You'll see it. Plus, she does a science experiment. We're going to light some things on fire. It's going to be cool. But before all of that, as usual, I want to talk to all of you about the trending topics that folks are talking about at their happy hours all over this week so far. And for that, Jocelyn's here, our happy hour regular. Hey, Jocelyn.
Hey, I'm so happy to see you.
Are you?
It's been a while.
It's been a week.
It's so long.
You're in here every single week.
You make great drinks.
It's very simple to pour tequila and throw some soda water in there.
No one does it like you, though.
What?
No one does it like you.
No one does? Oh, thanks. I thought you were saying no one likes me. I was like, what?
I wouldn't tell you that to your face.
Oh, well, I appreciate that.
No problem.
I appreciate your tact there. Anyway, since last week when I saw you, you know it's fall now. The season's changed.
Officially, like the summer, the last day of summer already happened?
Last day
in the calendar?
Yeah, we are in fall. Oh. This week marked the beginning of the fall
season. It's supposed
season.
to be 79 on Friday, though, so like I have one last day to try to wear my booty shorts.
Yeah. So you're going to go from booty shorts to stretchy pants.
I might wear my booty shorts with my Uggs. This is the perfect time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is this cuffing season for you now?
Yeah, it is. Actually, yeah. I'm trying to stay warm and fed.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And not shave those legs?
Exactly. Ooh, yeah. What do you know about that?
Oh, I haven't shaved my legs in 36 years. There, I think that's how old I am. They've never been shaved.
Oh,
never, but
look at you.
Yeah.
Darn these gender standards.
I'm sorry, but I could shave them, I guess, but I don't know. There's no advantage to that.
Yeah.
They're gross and hairy. It is what it is.
Okay, that's fine.
Whatever. Fall season is upon us, so it's getting chillier, and it's going to be great. People are going to be weirdos, and everybody's ready for Halloween decorations, and being weirdos, more weirdos. And speaking of weirdos, last week there was this dude who had a whole Christian, I don't know what you call it, a celebration organization at Edgewater Park in Lake Erie. 3,000 Ohioans gathered together for this Christian singer, and I guess it was basically like pretending COVID isn't real, and they all packed in like sardines, and people got baptized in Lake Erie.
How did cops not shut this down?
Cops did show up, gave everybody citations and things, and barricaded the rest of people away from them so that people knew, like, hey, don't go in there, they're being dumb.
First of all, I would not want to get baptized in Lake Erie. Ew.
Let's talk about that. Baptized in Lake Erie, a week after the water was flooding and the sewers were overflowing around Edgewater in that area, all going into Lake Erie.
Ew.
You're not just getting baptized in normal Lake Erie, you're getting baptized in shit. That's happening. That's happening.
Well, I found condoms.
Wash away my sins, but came up with somebody else's. Great time. Beautiful time in Lake Erie for celebrating the Lord. Yeah. Look, whatever. Let's end on a high note and talk about music, because I know that we both love that. Rolling Stone magazine in 2003 came out with a list of the 500 greatest albums of all time, and they just recently decided to update it.
Okay.
And came out with 500, not a new 500. There's a lot of albums that are still on there, but the list has been reconfigured for things that have come out in the last 17 years.
Okay.
Your girl Beyonce was among the voters.
Oh.
Yeah. So it's a legit who's who of people that picked it. It wasn't just some dumb music critic who was like, "Here are the best albums of all time." And this is why.
So they had real artists choosing other artists. I like that.
Yeah, artists and also music critics, people who follow it or whatever. A bunch of people got together and do it. I'm going to tell you the top 5. You want to know?
So I guess since Beyonce's a voter, she wasn't in top 5 then.
Beyonce was not in the top 5.
Okay.
Number 5, The Beatles' Abbey Road.
Okay.
Which came out in 1969. A lot of people fans of that. That's fair. Number 4, Stevie Wonder, Songs in the Key of Life, 1976.
Okay.
Yeah, get down with Stevie. That's a great pick right
Stevie
there.
Wonder.
Yeah. Young Stevie. Man, he's still jamming now. 1976.
He is. He still gets it in.
Number 3, I admit I have never listened to this album. Maybe I've listened to a song off of it, but Joni Mitchell's Blue from 1971.
Okay.
White Lady. Yeah.
Not familiar.
Yeah. But, maybe I'll give that a listen. Number 2, The Beach Boys, Pet Sounds from 1966.
Okay.
What you know about the Beach Boys?
I know that album and the Chipmunks did a cover of it back in the 90s.
Did you know that Cleveland Cavaliers basketball player Kevin Love is the nephew of Mike Love from the Beach Boys?
I would have never guessed.
How about that, huh? Yeah,
Talent runs in the family.
Yeah. The more you know. Number 1. I appreciate this. Marvin Gaye's What's Going On from 1971.
Ooh, that's a good choice.
That's an excellent choice.
Yes.
500, I don't know what I would have picked for number 1, but I'm not going to
Nothing newer.
Yeah.
This old stuff is more classic.
I'm not going to argue that. I think that's a solid pick right there. I've listened to that album in its entirety, and it's a good time.
Hey, so you mentioned it's cuffing season.
Yeah.
Maybe people from Misconnections will find love.
You know what? You might be right.
It's a possibility.
Anything's possible. Big Lots of Aurora. You helped me load a table in my Pathfinder at Big Lots. You even offered to help me take it home. I wished I asked for your number. Tell me what kind of shirt you had on. More like, what kind of shirt I'll be taking off. Lowe's cashier was very impressed by your knowledge of the Spanish language. I wanted to chat more, but there were other customers in line. I would welcome the chance to speak more with you if you're interested. Let me know your last words as I was ready to walk away, so I know it's you. The words were, hasta luego, mi amor. Lakeshore Lounge. Well, Jen, I am certainly attracted to you. Should have asked if you wanted to go for a ride on my scooter. I am an older guy. Don't know if you're attached, but hit me back if you would like to go for a ride. And I don't just mean on my scooter. Marks. Obviously, where you find love, not just discounts. Was in Mark's shopping, and a white guy caught my eye. He was 5'11" to 6 foot tall, 190 to 200 pounds, dark hair, mid-30s, had a black ball cap on, white t-shirt, white tennis shoes, and shorts. Was with his father, I'm assuming. I couldn't stop staring at your handsome face and those muscular, hairy legs. I would like to know more. And don't you know, you don't wear white after Labor Day, or in the bedroom. North Olmsted Walmart yesterday. What are the chances you see this? Probably unlikely. I saw the most gorgeous woman yesterday walking to her car. You have the most amazing ass I have ever seen. Walmart. Everyday low prices. Everyday amazing asses. All right, so my guest this week, swinging by happy hour, she is a meteorologist on Channel 19, a Northeast Ohio native even, so she really knows the weather. Kelly Dobeck, welcome to Happy Hour.
Thanks for having me. It's weird to be on the other side of the interview for once.
You don't just do the weather. Sometimes you get to interview people too.
Yeah, I'm kind of all over the place. So
yeah, you do a lot of different. You're like me. Like you don't want to just do one thing. You got to do all the things.
Right.
Yeah.
Lots of interest.
Yeah, life is boring otherwise. Do it all. I will start off. I always ask everybody, what is your happy hour drink of choice?
So I told you that I don't drink very often, so it just needed to be sweet.
Something
fruity.
Sweet, fruity.
Give it a try.
All right, I'm gonna.
I guess I'll have to trust you that you'll make something.
Well, here's the thing. We're gonna. Part of when you bartend for such a long time, sometimes it's about experimenting and understanding what goes well together. So what we're gonna throw you here is, take this little cap off, of course, is some Ciroc peach. You like a little peach flavor?
Yeah, good try.
Good Lord. This bottle has
Maybe.
Maybe. You know what? We're just gonna do this because.
Oh man, we're just going for it.
I won't give you much. Don't worry. I just don't want to get this little fruit fly trapper off. All right, there. Don't worry. I'm gonna keep it light for you. A little Ciroc peach, and then soda water is always nice and refreshing. You probably sip on a White Claw every now and then, right?
Yeah. But I was going to say, you're talking about experiments. I was going to bring with me this powder that it's not flammable and it's water resistant. So we could have lit the drink on fire. But I wasn't 100% confident in myself with alcohol and flames. I did bring fire, but I didn't bring
I don't necessarily want to.
I'll try it at home first, and I'll let you know.
Perfect. I like that. That's something that we're going to do because you do science experiments, which I think is really cool. Like even during the pandemic, while everything was completely shut down, you're at home putting all these science things on for kids.
Yeah, everyone's stressing out, and I have balloons and fire, and I'm sticking eggs into bottles. And
how did that whole thing even come about?
So we were thinking at the station, what can we do to help kids during this time? Like they're all out of school. Originally, I was like offering tutoring help for kids who need help with homework, but I was like, let's try to do something that's a little bit separate from school, but still fun. Still sciencey, still learning stuff, so that's how Weather School came about. I did that every day, I think, for 3 months.
Wow.
So
that's hard to keep coming up with stuff.
Yeah. I've got a new segment on TV now that every day I have a different science segment. So more experiments, but I have to make them bigger now. So that's why I'm using a lot of fire, explosions. Yesterday I blew up a paint can. That was fun.
Here's the thing: you started doing this for kids,
right?
But now you're just
But
now you're blowing things up.
Kids love explosions, and adults of all ages.
You're teaching the kids how to blow things. Now they're gonna be at home.
Well, I also teach. I have safety goggles and aprons. I bring all of the stuff with me. So I didn't bring my safety goggles today though for our experiment.
I think we should be.
Stand back.
I'm gonna trust you. And I think we'll
so
be
far
okay
I've had
with
success. I haven't burned anything down yet, so.
It's so awesome and it's funny. It's kind of nerdy, Kelly. It's one thing to be a meteorologist, but then all these science experiments.
Oh yeah, huge nerd, 100%, 100%.
I do appreciate when you just kind of brush off the Twitter trolls and people who are like, maybe just do your job and don't do this stuff, and you're like, this is a part of my job.
Yeah, there's a lot of mean people out there on the internet. There's more good than bad, but sometimes the bad are just
really loud.
Yeah.
Yeah, even though it's the internet, they are loud. But that's cool. So you basically turned this whole thing that was just for these kids, and now it's a TV segment for you, and now you're giving us the weather, you're doing interviews with people, and now you're doing science experiments. You basically just need your own show, not your own segment. Right.
Eventually, maybe it'll turn into a whole half-hour thing. We'll see. But yeah, right now I have 3 minutes to get my stuff in.
You would be a very unique daytime talk show.
Yeah, this would be a good idea. A talk show with science experiments.
Oh, yeah.
Modern day Bill Nye, but add a little bit of.
Exactly.
It's not a bad idea. Maybe a podcast.
Yeah, but you can't.
I don't know.
You can't.
Maybe this will launch my own podcast.
You gotta see.
I gotta change instead of Happy Hour with Steve Guy. Could be. I don't know. I don't want to mix alcohol and science experiments. That's probably a bad move.
Called Explosions with Kelly Dobeck. So you're from Northeast Ohio, but you're like a lot of newscasters that come in the area. You had to find your way back to Cleveland.
Right.
How was that? Was that exciting? Was it fun? Was that part of the goal always?
Yeah.
Or it's just like, it opened up, I can
Yeah, so I've been around. The goal was always to make it home, so
Yeah.
I'm definitely happy that I've made it back here. But I started I was a meteorologist in Augusta, Georgia for a while.
Okay.
I got to cover weather during the Masters. That year, there's actually a tornado warning during the practice rounds of the Masters.
All right.
So that was pretty crazy. From there, I decided I needed more tornadoes, so I went to Little Rock, Arkansas for a few years. I got enough tornadoes for my entire life. I think the one year I was there, we had 73 confirmed tornadoes in the state. I'm good.
That's a lot.
I'm good forever. Yeah, that was
That's a lot
plenty.
of tornado action.
Got
yeah.
my severe weather fill, and then from there made it back here to Cleveland. So
And now the weather is just like,
Cleveland, you got Lake Erie. It's different all the time. So
It's
it's
true.
got its own challenges.
yeah. I mean, what's the most challenging season in Cleveland when you're doing the weather?
Lake effect snow is probably most
That would have been my
challenging.
guess, but I didn't want to make the assumption there, not being a weather guy. Just,
Right. Well,
just
that's
guy
when
that
people
grew up
get
in
the most
Cleveland.
mad at you when you're wrong. If you promise 6 inches of snow, Cleveland gets 2 inches, but down just a couple miles east,
Oh,
they get a foot.
yeah.
So you're always wrong somewhere.
I spent my formative years growing up doing middle school and high school out in Geauga County.
Oh, so you know better than anyone.
Yeah. It's changed drastically. The first year we moved out there in 1994, we got, I think, like 3 feet or 4 feet of snow. I mean, legitimately.
Yeah.
When you walk outside and the snow is piled as high as this bar, that's something.
Yeah, that's pretty.
Yeah. And the joke was always, kids getting called off all around the city and the state.
Back in my day, we'd walk miles and miles in a snowstorm.
It's not even a back in my day. It was more like in my city, because like you'd wake up and you see all this city's getting called off, this city's getting called off, this one.
Oh yeah, in
like,
Geauga County, they were like, no way, you can make it through 3 feet of snow.
It's 18 inches, it's fine. We'll
I
throw some
remember.
chains on the
I grew up in
tires.
Strongsville, so I remember driving to school when I definitely shouldn't have been driving to school. I mean, the weather was awful, but I went to school in North Carolina. I got my meteorology degree there,
Okay.
and if it was a dusting of snow, everything closed. Snow was so much more fun in North Carolina because people were excited about it. They
Yeah.
were happy that because they didn't see snow as often, so they were happy everything was closed. Meanwhile, here we're just like, oh, it's snowing again. Like, whatever. It's not as fun.
Yeah. What's been your favorite thing that's been different since you came back to Cleveland?
My favorite thing that's different.
Yeah.
just
I mean, because you were gone for a little while. Anything changed? Anything you're like, oh, I love this? Maybe it's something that you missed.
Oh, I definitely missed all the food. I missed the food. I missed downtown's a lot different from when I left because I went to college out of state too.
Yeah.
So I was gone for almost like 8 years.
Oh, that's a lot of changing.
So
yeah.
the flats was totally different. Downtown's different. The Cavs were good, then I moved back and then they weren't. So that was disappointing. That was my one chance. I had to celebrate the Cavs win out of state.
Yeah, you weren't
in
here.
Arkansas where nobody cared.
Oh.
But,
I'm sorry. That's, yeah. Arkansas had good basketball in like.
They didn't even have good football when I was there either. So the
No.
one thing that Arkansas enjoys, the Razorbacks.
They had good basketball in like the mid '90s, and then that was it.
Yeah.
Then it was all. It was like when Bill Clinton was president, Arkansas basketball was pretty good actually. I just remember that time frame. Always in
Little
the March
tidbit,
Madness. Yeah. I guess
Fun
there's
fact.
I guess there's something to go with that. But you said you had tons of interest, and I think that's fun. One of the things we're going to do for folks who are watching, we will have a longer version and conversation with Kelly that you can catch up on, because we're going to talk about, we have a lot of mutual interests. We
Yeah.
both are in-arena hosts for the Cleveland Monsters. I almost called them the Lake Erie Monsters. The Cleveland Monsters. We'll talk about, we got canceled there because of
Yeah,
COVID.
we were, back when hockey and
Yeah.
live sporting events were a thing that people could go to.
And then our nerd love for wrestling.
Yep. You already called me a nerd, so it's all the way around.
It takes one to know
Right.
one. You know what I mean? Like that's fine. So we'll talk about all that stuff, so you can watch that. But on Happy Hour here, when we come back with Kelly, we're gonna do a science experiment.
All right.
Yeah. You want to tell people what we're gonna do, or should we'll figure it out? when
We're
we
going to
come
use
back.
fire.
There you go. Who doesn't want to watch fire?
That's enough you need to know.
When we're back with Kelly, there'll be fire. But before we do that, Kelly, where can everybody find you on social media?
I'm on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at Kelly D Weather on all of them. So pretty easy to find me.
That's very easy to find.
Yeah.
Yeah. If I wanted to look up Kelly D for weather, I would accidentally find you.
Yeah, easy.
There you go. Follow Kelly D Weather and stick around and watch fire. All right, Kelly, we're gonna light something on fire.
We are going to light something on fire. So you're seeing this before I'm actually even doing it on TV. So I had a little girl ask me, she's like, how do rockets launch? So I explained, you know, how every action has an equal and opposite reaction. And when you light the bottom of a rocket on fire, the opposite reaction is it lifting off the ground and flying up into the air. So I was like, let's make some mini rockets using tea bags and something called convection, which is like something that happens in weather all the time too.
Are these going to take off with the force of
So what's interesting is
space shuttles and things?
kind of. So we're gonna light the tea bag on fire here, and it's gonna get all hot on the inside. And as it, you know, burns towards the ground, all of that cold air is gonna rush in, and cold air is more dense than the hot air. The hot air takes up more space, so that cold air rushing into the rocket is gonna launch it up.
Sure, I understand all
Yeah?
that. Yeah.
All right, so
Absolutely.
here is our tea bag. For those of you who are watching at home to try along with us, all you have to do is cut the tops and the bottoms off the tea bag, get rid of the string.
Very simple. That's all you did.
Super simple.
So if you do have kids, this could be a fun thing, or a great party trick. Actually, a fantastic party trick.
Just a little windy in here, so I'm a little worried about that. But other than that, stand it up.
Okay.
And then a little windy, kind of holding on. Oop. Well, we'll see what happens.
Okay. It still takes off?
It still takes off because all that cold air is rushing into the bottom even though it fell over.
Look
Definitely
at
don't do
that.
it somewhere windy. It's a little bit, you know, fireball coming at me there for a second, but I did this like 100 times, so every worst case scenario that happened, I've been through, so I wasn't too worried about it.
That's great. I mean, that sucker flew all the way up here.
Yeah, pretty cool.
Yeah.
I told you, I was like, oh, we can light stuff on fire. You were like, we're inside. I don't know if we can. I was like, we can do it.
No, but this is great. So is this kind of like how a hot air balloon works?
Yeah, kind of similar principle. It's all about density. Same thing with weather, too. All of them tie together.
Oh.
You want to do one?
Yeah. Yeah,
Just do it closer to you.
All right. Okay. So I open this guy up.
I'll move the flammable
Now,
paper.
does the kind of tea matter?
No, as long as you have a tea bag that opens up, because some of the newer ones aren't kind of old-fashioned like that. So just open it and be careful not to rip it.
Okay. Open it. Try not to rip it.
Yeah,
Oh boy.
got it. You're good. And if you do rip it, we can cut off the sides that you rip. So then empty out the bottom, because it's going to be open.
Okay.
And then cut the top and the bottom so they're equal. So you can pop it open.
All right.
I'll move this out of the way.
This is great. I'll show my nephews and nieces this and be a real hero. I don't know if I did that evenly.
All right. Well, we
Let's see
can
what
adjust
happens.
if it's not even.
And then I just
So open it up all the way.
pop this guy open.
Yep. And then,
And then I just light him on fire.
yeah. Got it?
Got it.
Okay. Don't fall, don't fall, don't fall, don't fall, don't fall,
Here we
don't
go.
fall, don't fall. Don't fall, don't fall, don't fall. It fell, but
Oh,
oh man, it fell over again. You need to do it somewhere. Turn off the air conditioning or don't be directly under a vent, which I think is
what we're doing
we're
right
right
now.
under a vent.
All
Maybe we
right.
should have done it at the bar. See?
We should have done it at the bar. We're out of tea bags, but that was really cool.
We are out of tea bags.
So, when can people watch you do experiments on Channel 19?
Every day at 11 a.m.
Bam. There you go. Learn something. Learn science every day at 11 a.m. That's a trick to do with your kids. If you are a partier, it's a great party trick. Don't mess it up like I did. People will be amazed. And if it doesn't fly up like mine did not, then people will still enjoy the fact that you lit something on fire. Right?
True.
Yeah.
True.
There you go. Kelly Dobeck, thanks so much.
Thanks for having
yours
me.
was cool. Mine was terrible, but overall, that was very cool. All right, that was a fun time with Kelly Dobeck. My science experiment did not go as well as hers. Like I said, make every joke you want about my rocket not firing or whatever. Shut up. I get it. His rocket didn't work. Idiots. Whatever. It was a blast. I think we're going to have her on to do some cool bar trick experiments some other time as well. Thanks to Jocelyn, my bar regular. Thanks to All Saints Public House in Cleveland for letting us record here. And thanks, of course, to all of you for swinging by happy hour and come to that point in time where we say, here's to you. That's where we give cheers to somebody that's doing something pretty cool or pretty awesome or of note in their communities or nationally, worldwide, whatever the case may be. This week's Here's to You person is Ricky Smith. Yeah, that's right. Guy that was on this show at one point. He runs Rake, Random Acts of Kindness Everywhere. But what he's been doing right now is going to places all over Northeast Ohio and helping people register to vote. And that is a pretty cool thing. It's an important thing. You don't like to mix politics and religion and various things while you're in happy hour at a bar, but look, it's still important. If you live in the United States of America, it's one of your rights and duties and things to be a part of that. So kudos to you, Ricky. I think that's really cool, and I think that was deserving of a shout out. So this week, we raise our glasses and say, Ricky Smith, here's to you. That's going to do it for this week's happy hour. Thank you again for swinging by, and hey, we'll see you next week right here on Happy Hour with Steve Guy.